Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. The Fear and Greed Index is now at 8. I think this is the lowest I have ever seen it. Miles J. Creative bringing this to us. Did I read that right? Yes, you did. And I was reading on Twitter, I don't know, somebody was saying that the Fear and Greed Index was actually higher when Bitcoin was trading at roughly the same price. I think at about $30,500. Right now, Bitcoin's trading, as of the time of this recording, trading at $30,300. And yet, now the index is at 8, and I think before when it was trading way back when was somewhere around 15. So clearly, the sentiment in the space is very low. And why am I not surprised? The good news, though, guys, the low sentiment, the low prices, the deep corrections in a bear market gives us opportunity to cost average down. If you guys are interested in looking at deals, if you guys are thinking to yourself, maybe I should diversify if you might have a lot of XRP or XLM or Algorand or whatever, and you're thinking to yourself, well, what other coins could I get a good deal on? Should I up my positions in other cryptocurrencies? Well, guys, today I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at now when thinking about cost averaging down some of my other positions, but this actually can be applied to XRP as well. So I'm going to get into that, but we have to understand what markets are doing. So let's take a look at this first, okay? Jurian Timmer here on Twitter. An update on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at my favorite metrics to see where things stand after last week's sell-off. So I guess first we should see, is there going to be a deeper correction, or is this it? And what should we be paying attention to? Now, I recently did a video on Marin's tweet, and Marin posted something quite interesting, essentially predicting the last downturn last year in 2021, and now suggesting that we are down in an accumulation phase, and we probably won't pop until later on this year. Guys, I'll link that video up here if you didn't catch it. But back to Jurian's tweet here. First up is the Bitcoin to gold ratio, which I see as a barometer of how this aspiring digital store of value is faring relative to that original store of value. The BTC/gold ratio is now resting on major support in the form of the 2017 high as well as the 2021 low. At the same time, the detrended Bollinger Band shows that the ratio is now at 2 standard deviations below trend, which is a level that has contained at least 3 declines. Next up is the dormancy flow, which roughly speaking is a measure of strong versus weak hands. So take a look at that, guys. Dormancy flow, we usually see it cross over, and that's usually an indication that we're on our way back up. The entity-adjusted dormancy flow from Glassnode is now at the lowest level since 2014 and 2018 lows. So another indication there that maybe it's a good time to buy. Next up is valuation. With the current swoon to $25,000, Bitcoin is now below the price currently suggested by both my mobile phone-based S-curve model and the more conservative internet adoption model. So there's also that, Bitcoin demand models. I'll link this in the description if you guys want to go over this in more detail. I'm just kind of trying to breeze through it so we can get to the nuts and bolts. The next chart shows where we are relative to both in supply and demand, S2F models, so stock to flow models, at $25,000. Bitcoin's suggested future return has materially increased based on the suggested future value from these two models. So again, just another one showing us these supply and demand models. And interesting, but not surprising, that the 60% decline in Bitcoin has not deterred the hodlers. The number of Bitcoin held for more than 10 years is holding in steady at 13%. So also note that there is a steady supply of hodling happening right now. So it is not deterring people who really believe in Bitcoin. And that is at 13%, which I guess has been the average. I'm just taking his word for that. All of the above tells me that Bitcoin is not only at solid support, but also attractively valued. The one caveat is that Bitcoin-sensitive equities need to confirm any recovery for Bitcoin. They were the canary in the coal mine before Bitcoin broke down a few weeks ago, and they will need to show strength on the rebound for me to have confidence in Bitcoin's rally prospects. So there you guys have it. An interesting perspective on Bitcoin. Again, I also want to mention that I did do a video with regards to the 89% rule and the fact that this correction here, right, is actually 89%. If we take the corrections, if we were to assume, and if we were to take the top of the last bull run to the top of the former bull run is 100%. You do the calculation and it's really astonishing. Every bull run shows an 80% decline before we move up. And so if you guys didn't catch that video, I will link it in the top right-hand corner. You should probably check it out if you're interested in this. Also, okay, so let's get on to some political aspects here. Kenwood Capital bringing this to us, and I'm not going to go over this. I'm just going to breeze through this. Basically, Peter Schiff, who is a gold bug, says, don't listen to what the Fed says. Look at what the Fed is doing. And essentially here, you can read this, but essentially what they're saying is they're bringing a big game to tackling inflation, but ultimately they're not tackling inflation. So they're saying they're going to, which is getting sentiment to go up again. But what they're doing is they're not doing anything because they're basically effed. They can't do anything. They can't print their way out of this mess. And so, it's a strong argument for hedging against fiat currencies, whether that's, he's saying precious metals like gold and silver, but whether that's gold and silver or cryptocurrencies, in my opinion, Bitcoin being, of course, deflationary, cryptocurrencies as a whole being deflationary. We also have this, guys, from James Rule XRP. SEC Chair Gary Gensler warns on investing in crypto after the meltdown. So look at how the sentiment is changing, right? And of course, Gary Gensler, probably the last person the crypto community wants to hear this from. On the back of a meltdown in crypto markets last week, SEC Chair Gary Gensler sent a stern warning to the investing public on crypto, calling it highly speculative. And he said this during an appearance at the FINRA conference in Washington, D.C. The investment public is not getting disclosures. When you make other asset purchases, we have this basic bargain. You, the investing public, can make your choices about what risks you take, said Gensler. There's supposed to be full and fair disclosure, and people aren't supposed to lie to you. Right now, many of these entrepreneurs come up with an idea, and they want to raise money from you. That puts it inside of securities laws. So, it's unfortunate that we had the Terra thing happen as well. Because now all these lawmakers, all these regulators have ammo to say, look, be careful. This is why we have to regulate this space. And Gary Gensler, just being one of the most recent ones to suggest this. So wanted to thank James for posting that. And then there was Do Kwon's mega thread here talking about how we're going to revamp, we're going to fork basically Terra, and again, I'm not going to go through this, but this is impacting sentiment in the market. Michael at Val5 Links brought this to our attention, though, with regards to his statement. Luna founder faces community backlash over the Luna revival plan, and I can imagine why. If you were invested in Luna, I don't know how many here were invested in Luna, but I would be pissed. If you lost 99.999% of your investment, essentially, I would not be happy regardless of what kind of quote-unquote plan he has concocted, according to Changpeng Zhao of Binance, for example. So what he has concocted, I guess I should say, is a forking plan. And Changpeng Zhao says the forking will flop since it does not add value to the new fork. He tweeted, minting coins or printing money does not create value. It just dilutes the existing coin holders. UST holders felt that they were completely neglected in the prospect and that it was an ambitious plan. Zhao reacted to the forking news with an unexplained tweet saying SMH, or shake my head, is a common abbreviation, as we know. A very upset user also commented, this just looks like a really bad idea. If you guys have the intention and funds to put something like that together, you should save the original chain. You can still fix the original Luna. There is no need for a fork like this. So many being very critical. And again, I'm just breezing through this because I think it's important to understand the sentiment now and where we could go very, very soon if that sentiment flips. And we know in the crypto space, sentiment tends to flip very quickly. Michael also bringing this up. So following reports that Kwon appears to have dissolved 2 domestic arms of his company as early as late April, the CEO is now facing a fresh headache with South Korea's top financial regulators on the warpath. So apparently he has been called into court following reports that Kwon appears to have dissolved 2 domestic arms of his company as early as late April. The CEO is now facing a fresh warpath. Regulators claim that between 200,000 and 280,000 South Korean investors have been affected by the token's dramatic fall from grace. And so the Financial Supervisory Service in South Korea, Commissioner Jeong In-bo, who faced questions on Luna at an executive level summit, stated, there is a concern that trust in the virtual asset market will suffer as a result and that there will be damage for users. We will also conduct in-depth discussions with major overseas supervisors regarding the crypto asset ecosystem in the future. So he's not getting away from this scot-free, whether that is in the United States or whether that is in his native South Korea. And guys, again, I will link all these articles in the description of the video for you guys if you want to read further. I also found this kind of funny. VeChain did announce this. And I love VeChain. I'm invested in this particular project. Lunaterra developers, if you're looking to migrate layer 1, we're offering up to $30,000 to help. VeChain is a leading enterprise-grade public blockchain, 100% uptime, sustainable, and rapidly growing in the EU. Join us and build the future. DM open VeChain. So this is trying to attract Luna developers if they want to jump ship and join the VeChain Foundation. So I thought that was interesting as well. Which brings me to this, guys, brought to us by DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter. And it got me thinking, because I know, many of you guys are thinking to yourselves, okay, what should I do? And is now the best time to buy cryptocurrencies? Well, first of all, nobody has a crystal ball except for Marin, apparently. And the market is depressed. I mean, I didn't think we were going to go back to a 43-cent XRP myself. But I guess the question remains, have you guys been keeping track of your cost average? How much have you put into the market, and how much, for example, XRP did you get for that amount of money? You divide that price, right? Let's say you bought $1,000 of XRP at, 55 cents. Well, you would have 1,818 XRP. Well, then you bought another $2,000 worth of XRP at, 43 cents, right? Well, now you have an additional 4,651 XRP. So 4,651 plus 18 is 6,469 XRP. 64.69, actually no, I gotta do that the other way. $3,000 that you put into the market divided by 6,469 XRP means your cost average is 46 cents per XRP. So you bought some at 43 cents, you bought some at 55 cents, but since you put in more money at the 43 cent point, you're bringing your cost average down quicker. So you have to understand first, I think, how much XRP you have accumulated, for example, XRP or XLM or Algorand, before you can make this decision. And if you are comfortable making this decision, I know I have cost average down at 22 cents approximately. So if I were to buy XRP today, I'd actually be cost averaging up. I'd be paying more and my cost average price would be going up. And this is why for me, and everybody's going to be different, I'm looking to cost average down some of the other positions that I have, like perhaps Algorand, like perhaps XLM or VeChain, perhaps maybe get into a little bit of Cardano now. But the question is, where is the upside and how much do I stand to profit? And, are there better coins to pick than others? And the answer is yes, yes, yes. I mean, there are going to be better coins than others, but we have to figure out how we can make that decision. I guess we also have to know, are we at the bottom of the market? Yes or no? Now, the 89% rule, if you guys didn't catch that video, looks like we are close to the bottom. I also just wanted to bring this up real quick from Kenwood Capital, just bringing up another metric here in this Daily Hodl article from Kevin Svensson. He's basically saying we saw peak volume signatures in and around the bottom of markets here. So he's just showing us that this latest crash showed a volume signature here on the Coinbase chart specifically. So he's talking about the Coinbase chart. We saw one back last spring as well. Also back in 2019, we saw that same volume signature. Back in 2018, we also noticed that volume did spike. So we are seeing a trend here for volume signatures, which does signify, in his opinion, and for a lot of other reasons that I've gone over, that we are at the bottom of the market or very, very close to the bottom of the market. So now the question is, which coins should I buy? Well, I always like to refer to the World Economic Forum because they are a very influential player, have deep ties to many governments, and, although I find them to be very, very nefarious and evil, essentially, we might as well go with the cryptocurrencies that they see have value in the future because of their sheer influence. So, I'm going to take a look at some of these cryptocurrencies: Algorand, Cardano, CELO, XRP, Solana, and XLM. And, considering the entire market is depressed right now, maybe we can find some deals in these particular cryptocurrencies. So let's just take a look at Algorand. Let's start at the beginning here. Algorand. Okay, USD on the chart. We can see, guys, Algorand, although it was launched back in June 2019, it did see a decline here as the market was going down and ultimately reached its all-time high way back in November when the rest of the market capped out. So I'm going to take that as the all-time high for Algorand, and you guys can see here, right now, Algorand is trading around 49 cents in and around here. So today it's trading at about 49 cents. And, where does that lie? Of course, below the 0.236. And how far away are we from that all-time high? Well, we're about 514% from the all-time high. So just to get back up, if you were to purchase Algorand today, we're looking at another 514% gain just to get back up to an all-time high, a number that we know that particular cryptocurrency can hit. What about Cardano's ADA? Well, let's bring up ADA here on the chart, ADA to USD, and I'm going to take the top right over here. Okay, that was the top, the all-time high for Cardano. And again, we're trading well below the 0.236. Right now, today, Cardano is trading at about 58 cents. 58 cents. And how low is it from its all-time high? Well, it's roughly about 444%. So only a 444% increase back up to the all-time high where we know Cardano has historically gone in the past. So not as good as a return as something like Algorand, in my opinion. I mean, this is just looking at some basic fundamentals here. Let's take a look at CELO. Now, I don't really know too much about CELO, but let's just take a look at it and see if we can glean anything from the chart here. So this is an interesting looking chart. Don't have too much information on here. Was initially launched in 2020. But if we take this, Fibonacci again trading way below its all-time high. Its all-time high was recently reached back in November. And so how far are we from that all-time high, guys? We'll take the percentage point. Right now it's trading at about $1.44. And as you guys can see, bringing it right up here, as you guys can see, we're about 672% away from CELO's all-time high. So a little better than Algorand, better than ADA. What about XRP? XRP, the next one up on the list. And for those of you guys who might want to diversify away from XRP, maybe you want to look at some of these other coins. But I'm going to take XRP and just take a look to see where we can glean from the chart here with regards to XRP. Now, as you guys know, XRP has not even hit its all-time high yet. Its all-time high is way back here, back in January of 2018. Bring it down to the trough of the market. Again, trading way below the 0.236. And if we were to take the price of XRP today, which is roughly about 43 cents, 0.432, bring it up to the all-time high that we saw that was set back in January of 2018. We can see XRP now down about 659%. So in and around that 600 level. So one of the top here with regards to performance potential in that next pump up. How about Solana? Let's take a look at Solana. That's the next coin here on the list. Solana to USD. Now Solana has performed quite well since 2020. Taking it from the top here, now we saw that top again back from November of 2021, bringing it down here, trading well below the 0.236 as all these coins are at this moment in time. But, the price point for Solana right now, although it did reach a high, what was its high? Its high over here was about $259 per coin. Right now it's trading at about $55, $56 per coin. So let's see in terms of price potential where we could go with Solana. Only about a 367% increase from this price point here right up to the top. So as you guys can see, the worst so far out of the WEF coins that are listed here. But what about Stellar's XLM, guys? XLM here, last on the list, but I'm just going to take a look at XLM right now, bringing it up on the chart. And as you guys can see, XLM, a very, very similar chart pattern to XRP, has not reached its all-time high, came very, very close to it, but has not reached that all-time high that we saw set back in January of 2018. And if we take that, bring it there, we can see trading well below the 0.236. So all of these coins right now trading below their 0.236 levels. And in terms of price, right now, we've got, as of the time of this recording, XLM trading at about 13.9, so about just shy of 14 cents per coin. And to get back up to all-time high, what we see in the potential for XLM is roughly 569%. So just to recap, guys, let's bring up Algorand yet again. Algorand has a potential of a roughly a 514% upside. So let's just bring it down here. Algo, with a potential of about 514% to the upside, bringing it back to its all-time high. Cardano's ADA, what do we got here? Cardano's ADA, about 444%. So we'll put ADA down here, 444% to the upside. What about CELO? CELO to USD, we've got about a 672% to the upside. So we got CELO 672% to the upside. Believe XRP is next on the list. XRP next on the list, and we'll bring up XRP USD. What's XRP sitting at? Well, we've got a potential of about 659% to the upside. 659% to the upside potential for XRP. Then we've got Solana here, guys. Solana did fairly well again in 2020, but only about a 367% potential to the upside. So Solana, 367% to the upside. And finally, XLM, guys. XLM to USD, where's the potential there? About 569%. So XLM, 569% to the upside. So guys, you can take a look at these coins and you can evaluate yourself. Maybe CELO is one of those cryptocurrencies that you want to get into now because the potential to the upside is a lot higher than some of the other coins like Solana, for example. However, maybe you bought some XLM a little high and you want to cost average down. And although it is not the best in terms of potential, maybe it is one of those cryptocurrencies that you're looking to purchase just to kind of beef up your portfolio. The number one thing, though, that I gotta say is always think about the value, guys. Always think about the coins, and this is why, I'm choosing these coins specifically, and by no means are these the only coins that you should buy. Do your own research. Make sure that you're buying coins that have a future potential. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.